And we are live. Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy James, where today I'm here to give you my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. It's not going to happen in this video, but that's okay. We'll live to fight another day. Joining me is my co-host, Mrs. Best. Y'all say what's up to her this Sunday morning.
Good morning. Like, share, and subscribe. I am congested. I'm sorry if my voice is nasally and crackly. But like and subscribe. It's free.
Yes, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. And while you're subscribing to me, please subscribe to Mrs. Best. Her information is in my description box, along with some of our fellow colleagues here on YouTube, like Shana_MCD, Keywan J TV, and a slew of others. You guys, please subscribe to their channels because we all collaborate. We all are on each other's lives, supporting each other, and we would like all of you to do the same. Please support somebody else. Subscribe to their channel. It does not cost you anything. Please go ahead and subscribe, especially if you watch us all the way through and you really enjoy what you see and you comment and stuff. We all appreciate that. But subscribe to the channel while you're at it. So we want to say hello to, I put your comment up there because you always up in here first, Shani, so you deserve also recognition for your dedication. But thank you for being here first, Shani. We appreciate you. I'm sorry we came in early. You know, I'm back at work. Unfortunately, it's been 7 long months. I am out of commission, y'all. I do not know what it's like to have a Monday through Friday anymore. So I am trying to catch up, get things ready. So this had to come a little earlier than expected, which sometimes on the weekends we do early live. So, you know, but yeah, yes, we're going to get into this very interesting episode. Shani said, grew up with an attic in the house, so seeing this mother hits home hard. Yeah, it was really deep. It went there. So let's get the foolishness out the way. So Ken and Trisha are still at Dr. Ken's. You know, we're picking up where we left off because these two are just going at it, talking about somebody at the gym, and when the dumbbell hits the other weight, it sounds like a bed jiggling, and the other person is saying that sounds impossible. It's like you just made that up, and they're just going back and forth with each other. And Dr. Kid just looking back like this, like looking at this one, looking at that one. I'm like, okay, this is where you cut in because the progression is not going anywhere. They're just accusing each other of this, and that. So Dr. Ken finally jumps in and says, okay, well, what do you love about each other? And Trisha said, you know, I love him. He's a great man. You know, he provides, he does everything. And when we go out, we have a great time. When we go on vacations, you know, the kids love him. Everything is great. Everything is great. And Ken's looking at her, but then he goes, well, I agree. You know, when we have fun, we definitely have a great time. And, you know, I do miss those times and everything. And, you know, would love to get to that point with Trish where we are enjoying each other. And Trish's like, yeah, because if we, you know, enjoy each other, it would be so great. And, you know, I want to get back to those times too. You know, he's really a great guy and everything. And I'm just looking at them like, we are forever skating past the issue. And sometimes to see a situation through, look at the beginning of how it started. And sometimes that tells you all you need to know. The bottom line is Trish was not available to Ken when he pursued her. He knew that and still pursued her anyway. And then when the drama got contentious and she never filed for divorce like she should have, that became a bigger issue. And then the ex was over there, you know, antagonizing the situation even more just by showing up. Just by showing up. So, yes, there's more issue here that they're not divulging in because that's really the whole problem right there. But I digress. Dr. Ken said he gonna drink to this and, you know, hopefully they find their way back to each other. Mrs. Best, since you said in the comments, I saw it, that you forgot about Ken and Trish. Would you like to give any opinion on this first scene?
I think Dr. Francis drinking the water was, I can't fix y'all. I can't fix y'all. He can't fix them. Nobody can fix them. I'm gonna quote Curtis from Married to Medicine. Stop trying to play like you married when you not married. Okay? They skipping steps. Now look at them. If you are in counseling before you're engaged, before you're married, just go ahead and hang it up, baby. It's not going to work out. You should not need counseling that soon. Like realistically, your first couple years with somebody should be like, honeymoon stages. It really should. If it's getting so bad that y'all got to go to a counselor ahead of time, no. And it's not fair to the counselor because Dr. Francis can't really assess it the way he want to. You could kind of tell because Ken has to respect Trista's marriage and kids regardless of what they have going on if he wants to date her. So it's just I'm tired of them. And my husband doesn't like how Trish talks. He was so annoyed with how she talked. Why does she talk like that? Because all you heard was like she sounds like a little road runner, just going and going.
I just feel, yes. I just feel like them ending their relationship was probably the best thing that they both could do for each other because
And
it's
for us.
and for us too if they're going to continue to be on the show, because to me it just did not feel like there was ever any solid foundation because y'all both came into this relationship, one to prove a point to another person, Trish, and then the other one to be the hero, Ken. And it's like sometimes situations don't need to be saved, they need to be worked through. Then there is a difference between the two. So let me go ahead and get into these comments and then we're gonna move it all along, y'all. So I think I was right here. I was confused. Was the doctor saying give her more hugs was going to fix their relationship? I don't know if I think he used that as like an analogy that there's such physical tension where, especially with Trish, because of what she has gone through, that maybe the embrace of the two will kind of help, soften, the vitriol of words. At least that's how I picked it up, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't think anything could really save their relationship. I think it was built on the wrong things and that they just need to end it. Keywan J is in the house, y'all. Please subscribe to my girl. Thank you for coming through. Like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all do what she says, please, and subscribe to the video. Thank you guys for saying good morning. Pacino Ruse is in the house. Good day to you as well. We appreciate you too. Shani also said the doctors saying they have to deal with each other no matter what because of the kids. No, they don't. Those aren't his biological kids. They are not married. Very good point. Thank you for pulling that out because that is very, very true. These two have no binding whatsoever, no children. They are not married. They do not need to deal with each other. They could easily walk away from each other, which would be the best decision for them. There is no saving this.
Whenever people don't have kids and their relationship goes sour and they stay in it and they ain't married, I judge them. I do. I don't care. Because I'll be like, y'all could just walk away.
You really could.
You ain't got to fail. You ain't got to file a single piece of paperwork. You ain't got to worry about having to run into them at a PTA meeting or something. You could just walk away.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And Ken, when you walk away from this, make sure you leave this habit in this last relationship. That's all I'm gonna say. Leave this habit
for his next victim on Instagram as
please. Please don't. Please don't. Ladies with children. Ladies with children. This man has now Google reviews, Yelp reviews, all kind of reviews on national television where yes, looking like the hero is amazing, but it comes with a lot of ramifications. And then those ramifications usually are standards that he upholds you to because you should already know the seeing how you have children. It's very unrealistic. And in his situation with Trish, it was never bound to happen because she legally belonged to somebody else. Just saying. So if y'all are going to give him the time of day, make sure you have no other binding paperwork with another human being. That's all I'm going to say because it makes the situation less complicated. That's all. That's all. What'd you say, Shani? And there's somebody out there looking for him that's going to be like, oh yeah, let me come over here and take care of him, take care of my bills and my kids. Yeah, there's going to be another sweet tea-esque woman that's going to slide in the DMs, probably give him that same offer. I can give you a baby, a home, and a hot plate. That's all. We hope not, but if that's what he's looking for, by all means, go for it. But I would think maybe try somebody on your level, maybe. And not with all the baggage that seems to be complicated. That's all. So we gonna move on along, y'all. We just spent enough time, probably more time than I wanted to spend on them, but we gonna move on. So now we have, Detroit, Michigan on the map. And we see Destiny. She's in her room and she's talking with her younger sister, Paula, who, was one of the children her mother gave up for adoption, and she got adopted into a great family. Destiny says that, this is going to be the first time that all of her siblings meet each other, and that potentially there is a moment where they're going to meet mom, because the siblings are unsure if they want to do that. Paula went back and forth with her decision, but she said eventually she would like to go ahead and go forward and meet her. As they're talking and conversating, in walk Scott 1.0 and 2.0, the wives of the Scott brothers. They walk in there, Tisha and Kimmy, and they're trying to, get a feel for what's going on, seeing what support Destiny needs. And Destiny says that she is not sure yet because, this is her first time meeting her siblings as well. So she wants to kind of do the initial meet with her family, kind of go in there. And then they said there may be something else that, they will be having that maybe they could use some support in. So Kimmy and Tisha's like, yeah, we're here. We're available, whenever you need us, don't hesitate to call. And I'm just like, this is so weird. It's weird because one, Destiny really didn't ask them to come. It obviously was production pushing this narrative. I feel like Destiny would have did this by herself. But then it's also weird because Destiny's like, yeah, y'all just stay close in case I may need y'all. I don't know, but just stay close. And they're just kind of like, oh, okay, yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna ask Mrs. Best this question. Like, when you have friends that are your support system, quote unquote, like, how close in company would you want them to be? Because I know for me, if I invite Mrs. Best to something where it's really hard for me because I don't know how this is gonna go, I'm probably gonna want her there the entire time. But that's just me. Mrs. Best, how do you feel about that?
That they went off and did something else?
Well, like, it kind of felt like Destiny was happy they were there, but it was kind of like it felt like Destiny kind of wanted to do this on her own and didn't really want them to be really present. Like, did you get that same way? Because that's how I felt about when they were in the room with Destiny saying, well, how can we help you? How can we support you?
The whole episode, I'll give my opinion once we get towards the end, but the whole episode was morally and ethically just disgustingly wrong on production's part. It did give that she did not want them there, but I feel like production wanted the Scotts to be there for whatever reason. I feel like they're trying to force the Scotts on us because they are day ones of the show, but they're not likable people. Like, not as couples, not individually. They're just not likable people. I wouldn't want them around. Like, how do you go from Tisha trying to gaslight and bullshit her at that table and mad because she refuses to pick a side and is still friendly with Nell, to now suddenly we're supposed to believe that Tisha's looking forward to supporting somebody? No. It's just badly put together, but that's what Love and Marriage Huntsville is. Just a badly put together show, child.
I agree. I just felt like, to me, I didn't think they needed to be there. I just don't. Like, granted, they had their own little situation in Michigan, but I just felt like, for me, just seeing them there, Destiny looked out of place. Like, she didn't look like she even wanted them to be there in the first place. So I was like, well, okay, then why have them be there? Like, I get filming wise the business aspect, but it just seemed so forced, and like we had to like sit in there and watch them have this very awkward conversation that Destiny really felt like I don't even think she wanted to have with them. So we then move on. We had a little scene with Marcel, Maurice, Kimmy, and let me hold on, y'all, because I need to put this on here real quick because I forgot about it already. But we had this little scene with them, and they're sitting up there talking about the whole Destiny thing and how, that has to be entirely difficult for her to really be in this space where she's meeting her siblings for the first time, and then the potentials of meeting mom. Like, Marcel's like, I'm kind of getting emotional because that's going to be difficult for anybody. And then Kimmy said, when I was going through, my cancer situation, what really got me through it was my friends. And, everybody was checking on me because you never know in the situation what you may need. And, I just felt like, you have to kind of take yourself out of the box so that way you can truly be there for people because you never know. They may not say they need you, but they definitely need you. And I'm like, Kimmy, I am so happy that you beat cancer. And I am so happy that you went into remission and really did your thing and really came to us whole and peaceful. But that didn't have nothing to do with what Destiny is going through, because in the room, Destiny could even vocalize how you could even support her because she doesn't know herself. So for me, it was kind of like, I don't even know what y'all talking about, and y'all got y'all own problems. So I was like, I got what Kimmy was
That
saying,
was
but I
Kimmy
feel like,
taking some stuff and making it about her. It's
yes,
like, I don't like when people do this. If I'm going through a hard time, please don't, well, I've got this going on and that going on. Like, everybody has stuff going on, but sometimes you just have to be there and acknowledge what's, your friend and what they have going on. How the fuck does cancer compare to what she's about to deal with? It's a big deal. It's difficult, but it's very different. I think it's very ignorant to compare something that's very difficult to something else that's very difficult, thinking that they can be compared just because they both have the similarity that they are difficult. Like, things can be difficult in different ways. Things can be difficult and cause trauma. Like, difficulty comes in different forms. So I just feel like Kimmy and Tisha were just super disingenuous. They're
it.
super disingenuous. Don't ask somebody how to be there for them. Just fucking be there. If she asks you to be there, show up. If she don't ask you to be there, don't show up. It's very simple.
Shandy said they could have just looked Destiny. We're going out visiting our family. If you need us, call us.
That's it.
It could have definitely been that. I have to every time the Scots is on screen, I have to put her face up because this is how I look at them every time. Every time they on screen, it's this lady face. Y'all don't blame me. This lady shouldn't have did this. But sometimes when you hear such ignorant statements, you can't help. Professionalism goes out the window for 2 seconds, and you like, oh hell, dog. What did you just say? But yeah, exactly. I do. I'm sorry, y'all. Like it. It just gave very phony. Like no, 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 no. Don't y'all do this because Destiny did not need y'all. Like she really didn't, and it's so crazy. But all right. So we're gonna move on, y'all. So the next thing we have is Destiny goes with her sister Paula, and they go and meet the rest of the family. They're I don't know if it was a restaurant. I don't know where this was, but it was a space, and a lot of Destiny's family was there that Destiny knows well, and this is her first time introducing Paula to the rest of the family. Now she did have the other siblings. Now I believe Destiny said after her and her brother, the mother has 6 children after them. So I only counted that there were 4 there. So I'm wondering where the other 2 that they have. Maybe they're too young. I don't know. But she has some of her siblings there. They're talking. And what we learned is that, the grandmother was trying to find these kids. Like the moment the mom gave birth, they went into the system. The grandmother spent many years trying to locate them. And, with the younger sister, Paula, all of the family was like, oh my God, you look just like Rhonda Joe. And when you look at pictures of Rhonda Joe, especially pictures she has with Destiny, Rhonda does look exactly like that lady. Exactly like it. So, as they're going on, they're like, we're supposed to be meeting Rhonda Joe later, our bio mom, as they would say. The younger brother Jesse said, I don't want to meet her. I don't want to meet her. I have nothing to say to her. I'm just here for y'all. And she goes, okay, well, that's your choice, and I respect that. I respect your boundaries. Paula says she's in. The other sister says she was in, and then the brother Alan was in. So she has, some of her siblings that are curious and want to meet her. So I thought that was lovely. And the older sister or the Rhonda Joe's sisters, Destiny's aunts, they were talking about her, saying that she was so beautiful. She was always in the bars singing, and so it seems like the mother was, a musician of some sort and just maybe just fell into the wrong paths. And that happens a lot, y'all. It really does. So, it's so unfortunate. But I did like that the family, in spite of what Rhonda Joe's current state of mind is, I'm glad that the family did have positive outlooks on her as well. I really did appreciate that. Mrs. Best, how did you feel the interaction with the family, meeting the children of Rhonda Joe? How did you feel that went, in your opinion?
It's nice to see them come together, but I just feel like it doesn't need to be on camera. That's just how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just don't feel like it needs to be on camera just because of the mental toll and emotional toll that it could take on everybody that is involved and related to Miss Rhonda. But it's nice that they still found a way to come together.
Yes, absolutely. Let me read the comments before we move on to the next scene. There was no denying that Destiny looked just like her grandmother, auntie, her cousin. Yeah, they all look alike. And I love the look because, I'm a victim of the chubby cheeks, y'all. I really am, especially when I gain weight. So it was nice to see all that family have these cheeks because I'm telling you, it beat it. Ooh, I can't stand them sometimes, these little cheeks. Didn't one of her brothers pass away? Yeah, it was the brother that she was raised with. So outside of that, the mother has 6 more children outside of them too. So yeah, we're still missing 2 siblings, and I don't know. I'm going to be under the impression they're younger, and that's probably why we don't see them because they're probably underage. Um, yes, Shani. I'm glad they didn't say that's still your mom BS. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Keywan. Because, yes, that's always something that happens in these circumstances. Well, that's still your mom. That's still your blood. You still need to, meet her, maybe hear her side of the story and stuff. And I love when families respect the boundary and say, okay, if that's your choice, that's your choice. Maybe one day you'll come around. Maybe it's not necessary to come around. So I'm glad they didn't do that to him too, because I knew that was coming. So the fact that Destiny's like, okay, I respect that. I was so happy in that moment because that would have made me upset because I don't like when people do that either. I'm like, let that be my choice. Let me live with the guilt if there is some. That's how I feel. So after this scene, we then go and see the Scotts. They are going to their uncle's shop where he teaches young students and everything. And as they're going inside, they're showing Kimmy and Destiny all the places that they worked in construction. They helped their dad a lot when, they were coming up. And the uncle, is the dad's best friend, but was, definitely in their lives for their entire lives. And, they had more of a camaraderie because their actual father was in the room too. And he was just kind of standoffish. He didn't really engage much with them. And they were just more excited to see the uncle. And I'm like, so what do we have here? I said, this is an interesting dynamic. But their father looks exactly like, I can see a little bit of Marceau in him, but I definitely see Mark, their older brother, in him as well. Like they look exactly alike. So, they're, talking. He's, telling them about, who he gets as students, the construction game. Once they get their certificate, they go off and get jobs, which is a beautiful thing. I think that we definitely need to open up more trade schools and everything, get everybody a trade because not everybody wants to go to college. And as this generation is coming up, they're, finding different ways to make money. But it would be nice to have like a trade under their belt. I think that would be really cool. Then we see, Tisha and Kimmy have a conversation with, Mark, Marceau and Maurice's dad. And, he said that, he just worked really, really hard and, was away from them a lot. And then when he, went into, prison, he didn't see them much. And then when he got out, he asked them why y'all never wrote him or anything. And Marceau was like, it's because we don't really know you. We don't know you. And that really hit him. Like it really hit him. And I believe it was Tisha who asked the question, well, what was your relationship like with your father? And he didn't really answer it with a straight answer. It was kind of one of those sarcastic answers where, he wanted to break the cycle but couldn't. And so now that Maurice and Marceau are, in their lane of success, they are trying to find ways to break the cycle. Not so much Maurice, but Marceau, because he's definitely a lot more hands-on with his children than when we first met him. So I did appreciate this conversation, but it would have been, I think, a little bit more enjoyable if Maurice and Marceau would have had that conversation. So we'll hope to see. Maybe next episode it will happen. I don't know, but it was just really weird to see Kimmy and Tisha have this conversation and not with his own boys. I thought that was really strange. But Mrs. Best, how did you see the scene with the Scotts, their father and uncle?
I don't really have a comment. You can move on. It bored me.
Okay, let me read the comments. Let me see. Shani's comment said, I don't mean to be a bitch, but if she gave them up right after birth, then that makes her an incubator. It doesn't make her a mom. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, honestly, Shani, that doesn't make you the B word. It does not. I think that a lot of people look at that circumstance in many different forms of way. You know, we appreciate her giving them up for adoption versus having them in the environment that she was in, because there's some kids who don't make it out of that, end up finding different types of harm to them. So yeah, I can appreciate her doing it, but then yeah, I don't really see her being a mother because she didn't raise them. She didn't raise Destiny or the brother either. They were taken from her at the age of like 5. So yeah. But let's go ahead and move on. So we then get the scene where we have Rhonda Joe and her kids meet up. Destiny is nervous because mama hasn't walked in yet, but Destiny's like, oh my God, I'm having anxiety. I don't know how this is gonna go. And all the rest of the siblings are kind of sitting around her. And when Rhonda Joe walks in, she just walks in and sits down. She does speak and says hello, and there's no emotional connection. There is nothing. And she says, hi, Destiny, because Destiny's the only child that she does know. And she goes, hey, well, this is your daughter, Paula. She goes, oh, hey, Paula, it's nice to meet you. She goes, nice to meet you. And Paula says, nice to meet you, too. She goes, yeah, you look just like me. I have to say, you look just like me. And Paula's like, yeah. And she goes, and you probably look like your daddy, too. Your daddy just died, not that long ago. And I was like, oh no, this is not going well at all. I said, woo. But I said, okay, we're gonna keep going with this. We're gonna keep going with this. So, you know, Destiny thought in her confession, she said she thought her mother probably would have been a lot more warmer, but she just standoffish and everything. And Destiny asked how she's been doing and everything. She goes, I'm good, I'm good. And she told Destiny, you don't keep your promises, but I'm good. And Destiny said, what promise did I make you? She said, the promise that you was going to help me get a place and everything. And Destiny said, oh, yeah, maybe I did say that, but then you went back in the streets. She goes, well, I don't live in the streets. I live in a house. She goes, okay, well, whatever. She goes, yeah, you got your little reality show now. You're over there helping your daddy and everything. And as soon as she said that, I said, oh, there it is right there. There it is right there. Destiny cut the cameras because it's finna go left. It's finna go left, Destiny. So Destiny actually does get up and like, okay, see, I can't do this. I'm not finna do this because she's so entitled, y'all. Y'all see this? She's entitled. I don't have it. She goes, and Rhonda Joe goes off into a spiral and saying she don't need this and everything. And Destiny like, just cut the cameras. I can't with her. Cut the cameras. And I was like, oh my God, this is terrible, y'all. This is so horrible. And I fell for Destiny because as soon as that mama mentioned reality TV show and daddy, I said, oh yeah, it's going to go to hell in the hell wire right now. So let's pause for the cause. I want to read this comment that Shani said. That mother was high as hell at the start of that meeting. And then by the end of Destiny was leaving the room, she was coming down. That's why her attitude was the way I seen it. I don't know if the lady was high, but I just know.
Yes, she was. For those of us that have dealt with, and it's not funny. I'm sorry.
It's not funny.
Like, I'm not even like, I'm very passionate about it. I'm not trying to be rude, but it's really not funny or anything to laugh over. It's definitely worth a conversation, but not something to laugh over. I think people who have dealt with addiction in their life, I have dealt with it and unfortunately grown up around it, had people pass from it. There's actually something morally and ethically wrong with anyone that feels the need to chuckle at it. Separately from that, certain stuff being shown on television is not okay. And I think that there's a line I think there's a very thin line and boundary for us as an audience, the cast, as well as production, that was definitely crossed and blurred. And it upset me because you're putting people who deal with addiction, whether it's them struggling with it or knowing someone who went through it, you are triggering them by putting this on television. Number two, these children were adopted. People who go through adoption, they always have questions about where they came from. They always wonder about it. Just because they see that they got a better life doesn't mean that seeing where they came from can't impact them. Separately from that, Destiny said, cut the cameras, and the cameras kept going. So there was no respect whatsoever or empathy for what she went through. This is why I don't like Carlos King shows, and this is why I don't mess with Love and Marriage Huntsville like that, because some of the stuff and the way that he films it, I get that it's reality TV and we want entertainment to a certain extent, but then there's also that line and that boundary. Had this been any other network, and she said, cut the cameras with that lady who was clearly high and tripping and things were getting heightened, another network would have cut the cameras and said, well, at least we got the mics. They still would have got they something, but they would have at least cut the cameras. OWN did not give a flying fuck about these people and what they went through to even acknowledge or respect even some shed of their privacy. They had no regard for the mental health of the people watching. They had no regard for the mental health and emotional regulation of the people being filmed. They had no regard for anything but to keep the show going, because they gave an entire episode damn near to showing these people going through it, dealing with this woman and addiction. They didn't have nobody professional to speak on the fact that the family is actually enabling her mother, because I ain't never seen crackhead. Let's just call a spade, so clean, well dressed. She says she got a house and a place to live. They are enabling her to be comfortable to continue on with her addiction. I just feel like it was irresponsible of production to film that. If someone says cut the cameras, cut the fucking cameras. That's all. That's all I felt. But that's all I'll say. I'll digress.
No, you're right to your opinion. Absolutely. Because that's what they should have did. I agree. I feel like, to me, she was spiraling. And then also she was trying to bring up other instances of Destiny's life that I felt like were not fair to Destiny, because she had the parent who was there. So I kind of felt like, to me, you can't just throw that in her face like that. That was kind of messed up. So, Destiny took a moment, stepped outside, was talking with her other sister, and she knows that she needs to have a conversation with her mother. But she doesn't really, you could tell she wasn't comfortable, and you could tell that her mother was not in a state of mind where she could hear her. So as Destiny was having the conversation, Rhonda Joe began singing, and it caught Destiny. Like, Destiny froze in her, like, in a complete moment of wow. Like, even still, her voice still, harmonizes. It really, like, puts me in a trance of her, because this is the her that I remember. And it's so, it was so unfortunate. Like, I literally want to hug that. I don't even like Destiny. And I literally want to hug her and be like, we understand. We caught you now. You know. As the singing stops, this other sister comes out, because she was singing with her mother. And, she said that, yeah, she has a beautiful voice and everything. And Destiny tries one more time to talk with her mother. And Destiny tells her mother, I love you so much. And, I'm still here for you. I'm still, there. And the mother just wants to say, yeah, like you are for your dad. I see that. I see you there for your dad. And Destiny's like, well, why don't you take this moment, bond with your children, just have this for us. And the mama said, y'all don't care about me, alive or dead, y'all don't need to care about me at all. And people do that as a form of manipulation, and I didn't like that either. But Destiny said, what can I do? What can I do? Nothing that can be done. So yeah, that was pretty much that scene. It was a lot, y'all. It was a lot. Let me read these comments before I talk to Mrs. Best a little bit. I will say I'm glad she did show this, because I was able to see why Destiny is the way she was. However, you are on point. Yes, this definitely made me see why Destiny has her ways and why she's so secretive and why she's so quiet about her life. I totally get it now. At first, I did not understand it because it feels like, okay, well, why go on reality TV if you're not going to share, if you're not going to show us how you get a whole divorce on a reality TV show and there's no blogs, there's nothing even remotely close to what you could be experiencing. And this is your moment to talk about it so we can relate to you. All we're seeing when the blogs do come out is you going to jail because, you know, you got an electricity bill in your husband's name or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know. Like, this would have actually made us understand her. But yeah. And plus, look how she's told the younger sister about her. I didn't like, y'all, I did not like that. I'm just like, well, dang, like, you don't know her. Don't, yeah. People are saying Destiny was exploiting her family, and I disagree because they also said she don't give. Yeah, I saw a few comments on Instagram about that. Like they said, people were saying I would never have showed this, but y'all are like us, where we're saying Destiny doesn't give. So now that she's giving, now y'all want to say she should have never did it. It's like, well, she can't win either way. I
I
felt
feel
like
like
that was
the
great.
only part of her that was exploitive, the only part that felt exploitive was her trying to get the siblings to meet with the mom. Because they don't know her. Unless they like came to her and asked, like, we want to meet our mother, then I don't think she
Oop,
should have pushed them to
hold on.
do it. But she was also pretty like understanding. Like when people said no, she accepted it. I think it's just that nobody with empathy or common sense would be comfortable with watching like family so raw to this extent. I think that's what it is. And so naturally people are like, okay, either Destiny's exploiting people or they have the opinion of me where I'm like, production and everybody's kind of exploiting each other. I think people will just naturally feel that way because we see stuff about addiction and stuff on TV. But when you think of a reality television show, especially on the Oprah Winfrey Network, this shit gave intervention episode, not like a reality TV show episode. They don't usually go that raw. And I feel like that's what Carlos is going to say. We got raw, we got deep with his loud voice, but I don't think Dusty was trying to exploit her family.
No, I don't. I don't think it would benefit her to do that. Like y'all have
No,
to understand something. That wouldn't benefit Destiny to exploit her family. This does not do Destiny any favors. This doesn't do Destiny any justice. This does Destiny. All Destiny is doing is showing a part of her life that, you know, brought some challenge to her because she has younger siblings that one, she has never met and that she does not know and that she needs to build a relationship with later in life. That's realistically what the takeaway is. Now, their mother being a part of it in a way was kind of like a bonus to her, like in saying, okay, well, this is the realm of where we originate from. Good, bad, or indifferent. This is what it is. And I think to share that with us, the viewing public, I feel like that was actually really brave of her to do because it realistically went in a direction that she couldn't have known it was going to go in. I mean, she probably did know, but she didn't have further proof of it. And that's not something you want to taint the mind of your siblings with that, okay, y'all can meet her, but it ain't finna go well. So I want to let you know, like, she can't predict that for them. They had to see it for themselves. So that's why I feel like it was actually really brave of her to do that. So I commend her for doing it. I really do. Um, the story arc is short. She looked a bit embarrassed and hurt. You know, hurt I do see. I don't know if it was realistically. I guess I could see it being embarrassing to some extent, but because she's the only one who has knowledge of Rhonda Joe in a way that the siblings don't, I don't think that that part was embarrassing. I think the part that really embarrassed her was the sense of entitlement because I'm somewhat in the spotlight and having some success. You want to throw in, I got my reality show and that I'm helping my father. You want to throw that back in my face as a way of trying to guilt me of why I don't help you. That's how I looked at that. I could be
I
wrong.
think it's different because you have to remember you're looking at it from the perspective of someone who's active in an addiction. So a
Mm.
lot of what that lady says, I mean, I've had very close family members deal with addiction. I have a family member right now in rehab dealing with it. A lot of times they just be saying shit. And I don't know if other people respond that way. Like sometimes it's hurtful, yes, especially if it's your parent. But like other times you kind of get to a point where you kind of expect them to say like off the wall like things. And a comment that I see up here from Shani that is true. An addict will get so pissed at you for not doing anything for them. That's a part of the cycle of addiction and the cycle of manipulation that comes with it, and them feeling like they need to do anything they can to get to the drug because that's how their mind works. That's why they say addiction is a disease because drugs rewire your brain and cause you to do things. But her mom doesn't look healthy, and I really hope that the family stops enabling her so that she can get to a point of hitting a bottom, get to a point of feeling like she has to make a change because she obviously has people around her that want to know her and care about her, but she's just not in that space. And then to Shani and Keywan and anybody else that has a loved one dealing with addiction, I just offer you guys love, and I'll include you in my prayers because even after you're done dealing with it, it still impacts you. But I do think that Destiny was brave to share this on TV. And the one positive that could come from it being shown is that somebody who may feel embarrassed because they have a family member that may be like Destiny's mom may feel a little less embarrassed or a little less alone in dealing with their struggle.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. Absolutely. Thank you for, sharing that. And also to anybody else who has a family member struggling with addiction, you're also in my prayers too. I've had family members who've had been on addictions and different types of drugs and everything like that, but my mom did shield me away from that for me not to be able to see it and have firsthand knowledge of it. So I commend her for doing that, but then at the same time, it leads me to be often confused when I see certain dynamics and everything when it comes to dealing with people who have addictions. So that's where my ignorance comes in because I'm listening to Destiny's mother, listening to seeing Destiny's response to everything, and then also being the oldest child. I also understand how you're going to get the brunt of all of the anger from your parent, just naturally, just because you're the oldest and you're the one who probably saw the most. I don't think that that's often fair, but it's something that a lot of people do to the oldest child, and it's so unfortunate. Kiwan said, if Mel did the same thing, everyone would have compassion. That's what aggravates me. And I'm not even a Mel fan. I'm just glad she left her ex. That is a good point. I don't think that people would have had the reaction of, I don't think Mel should have did this on TV. I don't think Mel should have, you know, exploited this family member or exploited that family member. I think that people would have been in high support of Mel. And I do agree with this comment. I don't and that's why I said Destiny is completely brave. And I commend Destiny so much for sharing this, not knowing how this would have gone. You get what I'm saying? So I think it was brave of her. And I'm not I'm not going to do what the rest of the world did, which is condemn her for exploiting family members. It's like, well, listen, y'all asked me to share my life. This is my reality. I have siblings that I don't know, and I have a mother, unfortunately, who was an addict, and this is how she behaves. And I'm trying to get her children to have some sense of connection with their being. This is all I can give them. What do I want her to do? Like, that's crazy, but yeah. And I think we all should. I think we all should have some sense of compassion for Destiny and also have a lot of empathy for her because this is not an easy thing to deal with, y'all. This is not easy to deal with. This is not a walk in the park for her. This is bringing up emotion. And y'all have to understand, she was also taken away from her mother at a very young age. And that could be traumatic every time she looks at her mother as well. So y'all have to, I mean,
it's just very simple with situations that are sensitive, whether it be death, addiction, or whatever. I always practice what my preschool teacher taught me. If you don't have anything nice to say, then just don't say anything at all. That's it. That's
very
it. There's no reason to be condemning the girl on social media and mad and all of this. We could give our opinions, and that's totally fine. But if you don't have nothing nice to say and attacking people for what they got going on with their families and all of that, then just don't say nothing at all. It's
true.
free to talk and it's also free to be quiet. That's all.
Keywan, I will say this about Scott's and their storyline, but the broken relationship with their dad is a whole storyline. And I was just telling Mrs. Best about this. I did not know.
I didn't either. I thought they made it seem, especially when Maurice was crying about being a tubby kid and a lock being on the refrigerator. I don't know why I assume that, don't laugh at that, babe. I don't know why I assume that the dad put the lock on the refrigerator.
I thought that too.
Did you? I'm like, did we read
Yeah,
that?
no, yeah.
I'm like, wait, I thought your dad was around. So I'm so confused.
And
So
this
is that
could
why
be
Maurice is not really raising Monster, but claims to be the greatest dad in the world?
That's what I'm trying to figure out too. I feel like there was a lot more to be discussed here, but the focus was so primarily on Destiny that we're letting the Scotch just kind of go under the rug and not on Watch Your Mouth reviews. That's not happening. I need more backstory. I need what is the real story? Because this whole entire time, the way y'all are acting and have these misogynistic way, was it Uncle Joe who did it? Somebody had to do it.
Not a smooth cat daddy.
Right. Because to me, they were more in line. You would have thought Uncle Joe was their father. The way they were embracing him, the way they were coming at their whole conversation pattern with him. And Mark is their father is sitting over there, mum's the word, looking around, looking lost, not knowing where to connect, not know where to fit in. The daughter-in-laws had to speak to him. It was kind of like, okay, what are we missing here? Because we're missing something. Keywan said, I know I'm saying a lot and I'm sorry y'all emotional. No. Don't ever apologize about that. You have every right to say how you feel, to say what needs to be said on my channel. Always. No matter if you're here live with us or in the chat, you are always welcome to pour into me, Mrs. Best. We are here.
Space.
This is the safest space you will have. Because I'm not going to judge you for that. I'm not going to, because I'm going to be the friend that hugs you and say, we'll get through this together. So always feel free to open up to us. We guard in that heart of yours because it's a beautiful one.
And that's to all the subscribers. Anybody play with y'all,
yes.
let me know. I cuss people out for sport.
Absolutely. Like, let us, and that goes to everybody. I have a little bit more of a personal relationship with Keywan. That's why I'm saying it to her, because I'm talking to my friend. I'm not really talking to, my viewership. This is my friend, and I'm letting her know always this is a safe space. But when my dad chewed me out based on his actions towards me, I left, and the last time I saw him, we had to bury him. I'm so sorry.
Sometimes leaving though is you still have to protect yourself.
Yes.
And also by protecting yourself and not responding to that, you're also in some ways protecting him. So sometimes you got to do what you have to do to protect yourself. But at least you saw him at time of burial.
I'm sorry, friend. Not these people laundromat. I need to go to laundromat. I need to wash my
I'm
damn
in California, Keywan. You could use my washer and dryer. I won't charge you. That's all.
Right.
I'm just saying, consider it. You too, James.
No, I have a washer and dryer. Mine, listen, when it comes to my comforter, it don't fit up in there and it don't come out clean enough for me. I'm weird. I need them big old washers that cost $20. I need to throw that up in there. But yeah.
I'm telling y'all, look, I'm trying to get the free laundry for whoever come to California.
She's been trying to get me to come back home for the longest time. I'm telling you, since I left California, she been trying to get me. But
look, Keywan understands the power of laundry. She said, I'm packing up. Nobody wants to.
Can't nobody afford Cali right now with y'all $10 a gallon gas prices.
It's $5.49. You tried it. It's $5.49 for 87. It's $5.29 if you hit Arco or one of them unknown, here today on tomorrow.
Yes, where the gas is brown. I get it. Yes. Yeah. Anyways,
as my granny say, my nana say, gas is gas.
I love that. See, I'm glad we could turn around and laugh at the end of this, y'all, because this was a deep episode and it was trickery for a lot of people. So yes. Oh, I'm not the laundromat where the little girls in quinceañera dresses. It's Sunday. She be there dancing around for you. Shanny. Anyways,
Why
y'all,
are they crawling in the floor?
they're crawling. Oh, not they crawling on the floor. Lord have mercy. But anyways, y'all, that was the episode. Every time we talk about the Scots, I have to bring our friend up here. Because this face, I'm telling you, this is how I be looking at them now. Because the stuff they
Where
say don't
were
make.
they? Why did their wives meet? No shade. I hope I don't get in trouble for this. I'm not meeting with my father-in-law without my husband there. What for?
Well, their own sons weren't embracing him. Like, I guess they were trying to make sure he didn't
Let me
feel
tell
left
y'all this:
out
when
of
Mr.
stuff.
Best don't like Papa Herbert, I don't acknowledge him. I don't. I don't. I'm that wife. I'm like, okay, are we good? We good. If we not good, we not good. I'm looking at Kimmy and I'm like, why are y'all around?
It
They
was
daddy
weird.
without them there. That's just strange.
It was weird because it was kind of like this is the conversation he needs to have with his sons, not y'all. Like, and this is the problem that I have with the Scots. It's like y'all like to paint this pretty of picture, but in the cracks we see the imperfections. Like, what? Like, come on.
As I stated in the comments earlier, the Scots timeline and them on the show will always be confusing and not give because they're always working to lie or hide things instead of
Yes,
giving us a story.
exactly. And it's like, yo, I can't even hear. No. Calling him Papa Scott like he Papa Pope over there.
He
The
might
sons have
be
more
for
love for the
real.
Uncle Besties than their dad. The Scots are obvious. That's what I'm saying. I don't know why. I said this just a moment ago. I said they had more camaraderie with the uncle than they did the father. And so now it makes me wonder, did the uncle raise them and then put all that bullshit in their heads that Maurice told the therapist? That's not what I'm wondering now. Because it had to come from somewhere. And
I feel like there's something dark that may have happened in that family that they trying to
mm,
keep. Because I feel like the worst of Tisha is Wanda. And I feel like with Kimmy, she's a pick me and she ain't going nowhere. So it's true. But
not
when
the
you look
worst
at
of
the
Tisha is
Scott,
the girl. The way it's just the way you say things. I love
what?
it
I don't know what.
because it catches me so off guard. And when I
Oh,
be trying to
Lord.
take you serious and not laugh, you be saying shit that be like so off the wall. Y'all, I've known my best friend for a very long time, and she has always been this way.
Oh, Lord.
Always been this way where she will just her truth be so solid. You be like, damn, because it hits you like a ton of bricks, and you just don't know what to do. But
I mean,
like, damn,
outside of Wanda, though,
the
Wanda
worst of
explains
Tisha
why
is
Tisha
Wanda.
is true. It explains why she's the way she
Ah,
is. And that's like the worst that we'll get with her. Wanda is manageable. She's in the next city in a food truck with a potato. But these Scott brothers, I'm trying to tell y'all, I feel like something dark happened in their upbringing somewhere. Somewhere. I just do. The way they move is weird.
I'm thinking it had to have been a step parent then. I just think like, okay, where they mama? Where's their mama at? I need somebody got to. If y'all gonna be on this show and show us the glitz and glamours and unfinished homes, I need to see background now because y'all
That
can't
would
just
be
open up.
That'd be how they could give us a storyline. I would love to see the Scott's mom meet with Miss Wanda, because Miss Wanda
I
can't stand Marceau. I would love to see her question his mom on where she went wrong.
like
Because
for real.
this would be where Wanda's good. I feel like Wanda will get to the bottom. If she could meet with Marceau's parents, she will get to the bottom of why they are the way that they are.
They're not, you know what? They're not transparent, but the transparency they give is glorified and bullshit, and it's supposed to look pretty. It's like if y'all ever saw the episode where Iyanla Fix My Life was with Laura Govan,
Oh, don't do that,
and
James.
she made her bake that cake, and she put like ketchup and mayonnaise in the mix and shit, and still made her bake it. She said that cake represents a lot of bullshit in it, but Laura said, "Yeah, but we're just gonna make it look pretty." She goes, "And such as your life, huh?" That's exactly what they do. That imagery, that's the first thing that comes to my mind when I think of the Scots. Because it's that episode with Laura Govan where she made her bake that cake. And like Yana said, when she was stirring the cake up, if you don't get past the bullshit and the pretentiousness, your cakes will always look like this.
Nacho cakes go always look like
That's what
this.
she said. I'm gonna watch that episode tonight because I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna screenshot exactly what I'm talking about.
Can we
'Cause that's
get a
exactly what it is.
Yanla to like? Can we get like a Love and Marriage Huntsville, a Yanla fusion episode or something? I feel like the therapists and stuff that everyone sees on the show are not helpful. They need someone like a Yanla who goes against everything that counseling stands for and will just tell you about yourself. Didn't Marcel say at one point he got his way of parenting and being a husband from his dad? He did.
He said it. He said it. I think it was season 1. He said that, and it showed. He didn't know his son was allergic to peanut butter. And because his father was there but not present, that's where it comes from. That's exactly where it shows. Because how are 2 of your sons in your hometown? You're there and you're not embracing them. You're just standing off to the side looking into air. Like, how does that happen, y'all? Like, I'm telling y'all, there is something that they're not saying. So, yes. Ilya. Hi, April Morgan. Thank you for being here. But yeah, y'all, it is such a puzzle. And like I said, once again, I need more backstory. If y'all gonna sit up there and give us an inch into y'all background like this and not go into full detail because it's very confusing for us, the public, then y'all don't need to be here. I need more. Exactly, Shady. Something in the buttermilk ain't clean. There's something y'all not saying that didn't happen. But I digress. But that was the episode, y'all. That was Love and Marriage Huntsville. It got real deep. We had to have some very harsh conversations. We had to go across and say some very harsh things. I'm not going to do what the rest of the internet has done with Destiny. I'm actually going to commend her for her bravery because I knew this could not have been easy for you, Destiny. So for this episode, in this episode alone, I would like to say that I am deeply sorry that this is something you had to share. And then when you try to remove it, they will not give you your granted wish and cut the cameras. I'm sorry that that happened to you. And I'm sorry that that's something that you had to experience because they failed you. This whole production crew failed you in your moment where, yes, that should have been more private because y'all weren't going to get anywhere. So I'm sorry that they failed you in that way, Destiny, because you didn't deserve that at all. So I just wanted to leave on that saying that. Mrs. Best, is there anything you would like to say on behalf of when we end this live?
No. I just hope that the rest of the season gets better because Destiny at least has a storyline. I can't say the same for everyone else on this cast.
Yeah, she sure does. 100% agree with you. Can't disagree. But thank you everyone for being here this morning. We got through it, y'all. This was rough. We got through it. Next week, it seems like they're going to pick up a little bit. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen. And let me know what you guys think. Let me guys know, share your experiences, share, everything. We love to read those situations. Tell us what you think about the episode, and we'll go from there. But once again, tell people you love them, hug everybody, because we all
hug on James through a subscription. The button is there. Ring the bell.
That is a trap. All right, you guys. You guys have a great rest of your weekend. I will see you guys probably later on today. I'm going to do House of Villains. So I'll see you guys later. Have a good one, y'all. Bye-bye.